Fascinating fashion is adding one more chapter to his NFL story. As you've no doubt heard, the 44-year-old is joining the Colts on their practice squad amid an injury crisis that has left them with 3 sideline quarterbacks. If he starts a game, he will become the 5th quarterback in NFL history to do so at 44 or older. Philip Rivers is 3 years and 154 days older than his head coach, Shane Steichen. If he's named the quarterback, he'll be the 7th starter since 1950 to be older than his head coach. Steichen and Rivers do have a lot of familiarity with each other. They discuss plays with Rivers for his high school team, and by that I mean he's coaching a high school team. Here was Swagoo yesterday on NFL Live on this strange situation.
Don't tell me nothing about scheme familiarity. Every quarterback in the league that's starting got some scheme familiarity, and they still get hurt. And they not 45. There is no silver lining when you got to call a guy that's been out of football for 5 years to come start quarterback for you in the dead heat of the season with a team trying to make the playoffs. This is a panic button, and it's unfortunate for the Indianapolis Colts, and I feel like it's unfortunate for Philip Rivers as well.
In a related story, they're playing at Seattle this weekend, which might have the best defense in the NFL, and the weather looks iffy. There isn't a person alive more authoritative on the Colts than Jeff Saturday, so I give you the first word. Jeff, what's your reaction to all this?
Desperate times, man. Desperate times, desperate measures. That's where we are in Indy. And unfortunately, when the injury happens on Sunday and you see Daniel Jones go down, they're not the cavalry. And obviously Riley Leonard, he gets hurt. And you're worried about him. They're digging deep, and the facts are they were already in a spiral, right? We've lost 4 or 5. I don't think even with Daniel Jones, I don't think they're beating Jacksonville that day. It didn't start right. And so as you're looking at this, they're grasping at all straws, and I don't think they signed Philip Rivers with the intent of not playing Philip Rivers. So let's make sure that we're clear there. I think they brought him in, and he's going to get an opportunity. And Swagoo, listen, he makes all the sense in the world. You're the Jets.
Right.
I'm a Colt, man.
Right.
Like, there's nothing in me hoping more that Philip Rivers comes in and saves our season. Like, I'm just telling you, like, I am fully biased, not only for Phil, but for the Indy fans. Skeptical? Very. But I'm still ride or die.
Yeah, this kind of thing, it worries me, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Think about this. If he has to get into the game in Seattle, on the road, against that defense, when you have been inactive, I don't care what you've been doing for the past 5 years. That's what I'm saying. I don't care how much you've been working out, Peloton and yoga, whatever you've been doing. You haven't been playing football at the NFL level. Now, Philip Rivers is knocking on the door of being a Hall of Famer, but he hasn't played in 5 years. You're 44 years old. And quite honestly, when you played in the league, it's not like you were blowing the league up in terms of your athleticism. So what do you think? What do you think the level of degradation has been as far as his athletic ability now, where he hasn't been active for 5 years? And you're going to go on the road maybe against Seattle and play against maybe one of the best defenses, not maybe, one of the best defenses in the NFL. I just don't want to see this end bad for him, and I don't want it to be one of those kind of things where we're sitting there going, what in the world were they thinking in the first place? That's what worries me the most about this, because this is one of the greats of all time.
Yeah.
And now he's putting himself literally in harm's way.
Peter, can you describe for everyone who doesn't really fully understand just how old Philip Rivers is?
Yeah, Cindy, can we see the full screen? I want to show you an actor, Christopher Lloyd, in one of his most important roles, the great Doc Brown. And let's take a look at this photograph here. Doc Brown, the actor here, Christopher, is younger in this photograph than Philip Rivers will be when he plays quarterback on Sunday. This is a 43-year-old man. Philip Rivers is 44. That's how old Philip Rivers is right now.
Doc Brown catching straight.
Doc Brown. Loved him in Taxi. Loved him in Angels in the Outfield.
Although he's getting blasted right now.
Doc Brown was 43 in that photo. But I say this, I'm always, as a reporter, and Kimberly feel the same way, like, characters are welcome. And Philip Rivers is a great character. And this story is one of those that is made for Disney, made for Dennis Quaid to play it in the movie. Like, I cannot wait to see him under center. And who knows, maybe it does have a happy ending.
Okay. No. I think the same reaction that Marcus had to talk about the desperation. I think back to sitting in Chris Ballard's office, the GM of the Colts, back in 2023, the day before that draft. And he was talking about how it weighed on him that he couldn't figure out the answer to the QB conundrum since Luck retired. And taking Anthony Richardson was that big swing. Like, I've figured it out. And now this is another big swing where we talk about they've pushed everything to the middle of the table, all the chips, the sauce trade. There was a team that could win it all, and now they're just sort of grasping at straws here.
Well, more on this a little later, because I think we should cover the fact that this will, assuming he gets activated, restart his Hall of Fame clock. And this is a guy who, as you said, is knocking on the door of the Hall of Fame. And this means he'll have to wait another 5 years to come back and maybe play a game or two in this situation. A lot of different storylines that are working there. Get up. I'm going to call this reading between the lines because we're looking at the point spreads, and what I'm about to demonstrate for you is that Las Vegas is not buying into the current AFC big boys. The Patriots at home against the Bills this weekend are a 1.5-point underdog. Remember, New England beat them in Buffalo earlier this year. They're the hottest team, or as hot as any team in the entire National Football League. And right now at DraftKings, they are a home dog against the Bills. Lewis, are you buying it? Should the Bills be favored?
I don't think they should. Look, and I'm going to give, and the reason why I'm going to say this is because of the fact that, look, I really do believe in Mike Vrabel. You think the Tennessee Titans right now are sitting there going, man, how do we let that dude get out of here? Yeah. You think Josh McDaniels has not found his sweet spot with Drake May? You think that hasn't been a perfect match right now? Do you think, look, when you think about special teams, have you guys seen Marcus Jones lately? Have you seen him return some punts lately? This guy is a dynamo. That's another phase in a three-phase game that we need to really pay attention to in this kind of game where teams are very evenly matched. I believe Drake Matrix, as I like to call him, right now is playing out of his mind, and I think this team is for real. Regardless of what the line says, I think the Patriots should be the favorite in this game.
Let me show you one other, because the Patriots and the Broncos have been the two big boys in the AFC this year. Right there, running away and hiding. They're practically a two-man fight for the 1 seed. The Broncos are a home dog this weekend. The Broncos are a 2.5-point underdog as we speak at DraftKings against Green Bay. It's just the 4th time in the last decade where a team that's 9 or more games over 500 is an underdog at home. Are you buying, Jeff, that the Broncos are not as good as the Packers?
I am, and I'll say this. I think this is a comparison between Bo Nix and Jordan Love right now. That's what the odds makers are saying. That Jordan Love, since Christian Watson has come back, has been one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the NFL. They have a great defense. The Broncos have a great defense. They haven't shown you the same consistency offensively.
Peter, is that the field? Right now, basically, DraftKings is telling us New England and Denver, the records are gaudy, but they're not ready to buy in.
Style points matter, I guess, because all the Broncos do is win.
Yep.
And they have an elite defense, and they have a quarterback who makes a big play when it matters, and they don't lose at home, and yet they're underdogs in this game, and everyone's still waiting for the other shoe to drop. Yeah, it's possible they might lose, but I'm not betting against the Broncos, not the way they've been playing this season.
And Kimberly, you're out there with all these teams every single weekend. What is your sense of this?
I mean, I think both teams, here's the thing. You look at the Packers defense, they've garnered a lot of the attention, but piggybacking off of what Jeff said, since week 8, Jordan Love has the highest QBR of any quarterback, including Drake May.
Hey, let me say this. That game right there could be a Super Bowl. We could see that in the Super Bowl.
That was an all-time classic years
that
ago.
right there, I'm just letting you, that is a fun game. For everybody who's true football, wants to watch X's and O's of football, that game right there, tune in.
We were just talking about this game on SportsCenter, right? I mean, look, as you're talking about Jordan Love, over the past 4 weeks, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ooh. I mean, you see the command he has at the line of scrimmage, pre-snap and then post-snap. I mean, he's just dropping dimes off of that back foot constantly.
And Jacobs.
And and defensively, I think they can match up with Denver or anybody in the league.
It's going to be a great game.
No doubt.
Because like Peter said, Denver find ways to win. It's unbelievable. Like Sean Payton, he don't care about how tight the game is. He's going to find it's going to be a lot of fun.
And to be clear, the way these point spreads are deduced is not just solely a function of who we think is better, but also what we think the public thinks.
Right.
Which is why that brings us to Kansas City, where the Chiefs now, all we did was write their obituary the other day, and they're a 4.5-point favorite against the Chargers this weekend. Kansas City 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 games. So I wanted to have this conversation about the Chiefs because we just spent a little time talking about Jalen Hurts. And how much is he to blame for what's going on there in Philadelphia and all the rest of that? He won the Super Bowl last year. Well, all Patrick Mahomes has done since he got in the league is win and win and win and win and win. I'm hearing a little bit of how much blame does Mahomes deserve if the Chiefs really are going to miss the playoffs this year? How much blame?
a fair amount. Like, I don't understand why everybody's avoiding this. Like, if you're a quarterback who has the greatest start in NFL history, and that's what Patrick Mahomes is, and people have goated him and said he's going to be, or he is the greatest ever, all those things. And Patrick Mahomes has earned every bit of that. He hasn't played as well this year. If you're watching film and you're looking at him and say it's different, then you're lying to yourself. Like, even the other night against the Texans, the Rice ball that Petrie dang near kills him on, like, that ball's behind. There were a lot of balls that aren't placed typically where Patrick Mahomes, and I think he would gladly admit that. I think when people try to step around when players aren't doing what they have done in the past, we act like he's been perfect. That's just not the case. And listen, he started and they've only won 6 games, y'all. Don't mix it. This is the greatest of all time. And so if you're going to get the credit, you got to take some blame, and that's where I think we all are.
I remember when they took the trip to Denver and he had multiple deep shots that he missed in the football game. And he said post-game, he said, look, I've got to hit those.
That's right.
I cannot be overthrowing guys like this. I cannot be missing Travis Kelce on the deep wide over when he's wide open, and that's going to be a chunk play. So he hasn't avoided it.
No.
So I don't think he's kind of sitting here going, hey, don't criticize me.
Agreed.
Because look, I am part of the problem. But there's other problems going on with the Chiefs.
No doubt.
They need a number 1 running back.
Amen.
They need a bell cow back. They need a true number 1 wideout. They need more help for Chris Jones on the defensive line. They need some other things too now.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, Field Yates in his mock draft today has them taking Jeremiah Love in the first round, by the way. So
there you go.
You want to
That's
run it
right.
back, you would get him. Peter and Kimberly, quickly.
You know, last week I sat here on Get Up and everyone else took the Texans and I took the Chiefs. And I said it and I looked at the camera and I'm like, I just can't bet it.
You're starting to start.
I felt like the violin player on the Titanic. Like I'm going down. Like that ship is now capsized.
Yeah.
I think it's over. I think they have a 10% chance, and the teams they've lost to, Bills, Texans, Jaguars,
Right.
those are the ones they're gonna have tiebreakers over. Just wasn't their year. And,
Yeah.
I know it's weird to hear. I got nothing left for them.
Is it I got nothing left. Yeah, it's interesting. We're talking about the 2 teams in the Super Bowl, and you're just looking at them like they just look so unlike themselves. And I think, unfortunately, we're seeing the end.
You can see
Chiefs
it
in trouble. Yeah,
You can see it in their body
It'll
language.
resurrect. I mean, Mahomes will have
No
a whole
doubt.
other run at some
Yeah.
point.
No doubt.
But for this year, I mean, you see
This
it in their
iteration.
body language. Every single, I mean, you saw it in Travis Kelce's face, both on the field and then he was sitting on the bench. I mean, I think we're sitting here saying maybe this isn't their year. I think in their own minds, they're thinking, damn, this isn't our year.